So recently I started watching ReZero for the first time in my life. I'm currently on season 3 and I just found out that this season of ReZero was divided into 2 parts. I don't have many experiences watching anime that are separated into cores outside of Bleach and Attack on Titan, but from those experiences I do know that each core has at least been separate and individual enough to merit its own video, so I'm just gonna assume that's the same case with ReZero, and I'll talk about part 1 here, and then I can talk about part 2 that just recently wrapped up. And part of me also did this because I kind of don't want to finish ReZero so quickly because then I'm gonna be in shambles and I'm not gonna know what to watch after. But thankfully a season 4 has already been announced, so the second ReZero season 4 is back. I'm gonna be on that. Every episode that comes out is gonna be a video. I'm not gonna wait for season 4 to wrap up because I can't. But anywho, it's been over a year since the events of season 2 have unfolded. I think first and foremost and the most obvious change between season 2 and season 3 is not even anything in the story. It's just the art style. I saw the art style change even in posters that were advertised in season 3, etc. I don't know what most people think about it. Personally, I really like it. In my opinion, this is the best that ReZero has ever looked. Big fan of the art style change. Hopefully I don't get jumped for that. But oh, and also Subaru now owns a whip, which I guess is cool. I mean, he uses it tactically, which I think is very fitting for his character. You know, it's not the most important thing in the world. I'm just a fan of showing off a character's quirks and individuality via indirect means, such as, you know, what weapons they use, etc. Little stuff like that that just highlights Subaru's character. Oh, and I guess I haven't even addressed the fact that ReZero season 3 episode 1 hour and 30 minutes long. I mean, I'll take it. The more ReZero content we can get, the better, especially considering I know that ReZero likes to cut a lot of content. I've had people in my comment section telling me, oh, you should watch a video about the cut content of season 3 because they cut a lot of content. I've also had people say that for season 2. I've also had people say that for season 1. I guess we'll just never get a ReZero season where they don't cut content, but I'll educate myself later, I guess. Anywho, the cast gets summoned by Anastasia, who claims to have a crystal that can summon Puck back, and just like that, they're on their way and we get the new setting for season 3. And what I find really interesting about this new location, Japanese architecture that Subaru is familiar with. Now, I could be looking too deep into this. In fact, I probably am. I probably sound crazy right now, but hear me out. What if Subaru is not the only person that has been brought to this world? What if there were other people like Subaru? That's what I was thinking until Subaru pretty much confirmed it himself. I thought I was so smart putting it all together, and then, you know, he pretty much just said it out loud. It's okay. I didn't want to sound smart for y'all anyways, alright? Around this time, we also meet the songstress. Subaru ruins a deal, and we also see Regulus and Emilia bump into each other. Now at this point, I don't know how I felt about that, because I feel like Emilia looking at Regulus right in his face, surely you recognize him, right? I mean, it's not like he has like an everyday regular schmegular design, and given their past, I would imagine that she would remember him, but I guess not. If something is different in the novel, if this is one of those left out pieces of information that I'm lacking as an anime only, please let me know, because I'm kind of like, what? Also around this time, Reinhard kind of makes Garfiel look like a weakling. You know, as a day one Garfiel enthusiast, kind of sucked watching that. You know, Reinhard, just chill out. So then we get all these different plot lines for all these side characters going on at the same time. Garfiel is seeing Elsa and struggling with the fact that he's not the strongest. Reinhard is going through family issues with his grandfather and also his deadbeat dad, who honestly his only purpose in the story is to be kind of loud, obnoxious, annoying, stupid, be an alcoholic, honestly just be a Nimrod all around. But my favorite plot line going on, the main plot line, is the one that follows Emilia, and it all kicks off with Subaru meeting Sirius. So she makes a grandiose appearance, and as a member of the witch cult, I would assume that everybody in the crowd would be, you know, throwing stones or just hating on her, but they don't. They actually pay attention to what she has to say. She even goes as far as bringing out a kid who is all chained up, mind you, dangling him 500,000 feet above ground, and everybody's just cheering. They're having a great old time. I put my critical thinking hat on, as I am a critical thinker, and I'm like, okay, well, this is not a laughing matter in any universe. So what is going on? And we don't find out until later what's going on. In fact, she just drops the kid right on his face and everybody dies, including Subaru. And I'm like, that was hardcore. So anyways, that was the first time the Subaru died in season 3, and in classic Subaru fashion, it doesn't take too long for him to die yet again. So I don't even know if I can show the footage of it. Honestly, it might just be one of the most gruesome ones in the series, alongside the time he just got jumped by a gang of rabbits. So now Subaru has to go back and try for a third time. This time he asks Reinhardt for help, which is, good choice. Well, I guess not in this context, because this time around, Reinhardt just ends up killing everybody himself, unintentionally of course, but that's not much better. Everybody still dies. So it's not until Emilia gets involved that we finally have a real chance of breaking this cycle of death. And now that Emilia arrived, it's all madness now. All heck breaks loose. Sirius starts going crazy, talking about Emilia as if she knows her, and I'm sitting there like, I've never seen Sirius a day in my life. Like, what is she talking about? But it might be because she's all covered up in bandages, and the fact that her appearance is being hidden so well leads me to believe that it's going to be some grand reveal. But then when Subaru uses his sloth witch factor and she says, "My love, I have found you," like, okay, alright, who could this possibly be? I know who you are, but I'm not gonna say it in fear of looking stupid if it's not, so I'm just gonna leave it as a hypothesis out there. Anyways, Regulus saves Emilia because he wants Emilia to be his wife, or I guess he's not asking, he doesn't want it, he's demanding Emilia is his wife. And then he blows off Subaru's leg. There's so much going on. And then, as if stuff couldn't get worse, Capella holds a broadcast, and she's pretty much just saying, hey, we're the witch cult, we rock, y'all suck, and we're in charge. We get some important lore saying that you cannot move the witch's remains or else the city's pretty much is gonna get destroyed. And while all of that is going on, Garfiel returns because he let Mimi get hurt, and Reinhardt is just watching his dad be annoying still. But the only thing we can do is fight back, I guess. So they start fighting against the witch cultists. We see Capella is a giant dragon, and admittedly, that's pretty epic. Alright, that's kind of cool. And towards the end of the episode, we have Subaru facing off against Roy, the one that put Rem in a coma. Pretty hype. The standoff, not the fact that he put Rem in a coma. How dare he? How dare he? And the episode ends off with Regulus asking if Emilia is a virgin. Oh, okay, like weird. Anywho, Julius decides to fight Gluttony. Crochet and Subaru go on to fight Capella. And Otto does Otto things, and he saves Felt from, that loser, alcoholic loser, deadbeat loser. Anywho, back to Capella. It turns out she can kind of transform herself to look like whoever she wants to. And then she rips Subaru's already injured leg off and pours blood that is dragon blood. Well, I guess her blood isn't dragon. Her blood has dragon. That's what she said. Those are her words. Just flashing it up on screen because I can't articulate myself properly. Pours it on Subaru, pours it on Crochet, and then the whole city gets flooded. So they take 1 year off from season 2. 5 episodes into season 3. There's so much going on. Like, I can't get over it. Anyways, Emilia inquires about Wrath, and she finds out that she's the silver-haired girl that they were talking about. Meanwhile, Subaru is going through it. Of course, typical. We see Subaru falling and seeing all these different dragons and whatnot. I'm assuming that's the dragon blood, especially because his leg is back. So I'm guessing Subaru has supernatural healing now. Also forgot to mention that Capella made 3 more demands. This is why you script your video, everybody. The Tome of Wisdom, the Artificial Spirit, and the marriage. Anyways, cut back to Regulus Emilia. Regulus tries to kill one of his wives. Emilia's not having it. Oh, Regulus has like 200, a lot of wives. He has a lot of wives. And I don't think even a single one of them have consented. So what's up with that? Anywho, Emilia does some detective work and finds out some information that's going to be beneficial to Subaru. So she gets in contact with Al via media. And then everybody is met up in front of this giant media. And they have this conversation with Subaru, gassing him up, telling him how much of a legend he is, which is factual, is very true. Maybe an underappreciated moment. I don't know. I don't know what people think of this season. But I just liked everybody huddled up, acknowledging that Subaru has to be the one to deliver the message, because I would have thought what Subaru does goes unnoticed because of Return by Death, because he can't tell anybody about Return by Death. And while they don't know the whole story, at least Subaru is getting appreciated and he's being acknowledged and he's being noticed as the hero that he really is, which I like. I would have to finish all of season 3, including the second part, and then come back to these episodes, but I really think episode 7 might be one of my favorite ones. Anywho, here's Otto, saves the day again, took the Tome of Wisdom after it was burnt and sent it off to a professional to get it restored. I like Otto so much, right? Doesn't talk too much, doesn't get a lot of screen time, but he's always there when he's needed. And then when Subaru pulls him to the side, he says that he doesn't trust Ross. Well, I don't trust him either. Otto and I would be best friends. I I think it's safe for me to say that. We also get to see the state that Crochet is in, and she's in a horrible state. Subaru is doing just fine, just dandy. He tries to help out, it's not happening. Crochet has suffered so much, especially for a side character. She has suffered a lot, but you know, that's a lot of people in ReZero, even down to the viewers. So, and then Wilhelm drops a bombshell on us, the viewers, by saying that the witch cult is manipulating corpses. They are reanimating the dead, including his wife, and the other one is also somebody called 8 Arms. I don't know, but never heard of him in my life, but this is heavy and I want to see them fight. So, and then Priscilla says that she's gonna fight the witch cult too, and she's gonna fight Wrath, but she wants Liliana the songstress with her. And then Reinhardt pops out and he says that he's been blessed with the blessing of judgment, which allows him to judge other people's blessings, and we find out that Liliana has the blessing of telepathy. What can Reinhardt not do? So far he's just been like Superman. He's been able to do everything. Okay, Subaru says that he wants Reinhardt to accompany him taking down Regulus. Julius says that he's gonna take on Gluttony, and then Subaru says that he wants Wilhelm and Garfiel to handle Lust. So it seems like the matches are set for part 2 of season 3, and then part 1 wraps off with the wedding between Regulus and Emilia about to go down, and Regulus starts saying, oh, you're forbidden to smile. Okay, like, he's a weird guy. Okay, and Emilia, right to his face, like, just starts denying the marriage and saying no, and talking about Subaru, which makes Regulus lose it, as if I mean, he was already crazy. But and part 1 of season 3 ends up with Subaru and Reinhardt kicking the door down and confronting Regulus. And I don't want to make any wrong predictions or anything, but I've seen what Reinhardt did in season 1. In my eyes, this looks like it would just be a walk in, walk out with Emilia, deal with Regulus in like under a minute and leave. I mean, but regardless, that was season 3 part 1, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I know the stage is set right now for season 3 part 2. Again, I only divided up these cores because I know that cores, from what I understand so far, from what I've seen, been different enough to merit separate videos. It seems like the second part of season 3 is going to be a lot about fighting, since the matches are set. We just saw it in episode 8, like I said, and I don't want to admit that I've been spoiled, but you know, if I know something, I'm gonna tell y'all. I know that Vincent Chansard animates some scenes in ReZero, and I haven't seen any Vincent Chansard looking work yet, so I'm assuming that he comes in during the second part of season 3. And as somebody that is a fan of One Piece, I'm a fan of his work as well, because he's just amazing. So when I first heard that news, I was like, Vincent Chan on ReZero? Why? But I think I see it now. And again, I just don't want to finish ReZero because I'm gonna have nothing to watch, but really enjoyed season 3 part 1 as I've enjoyed with everything else of ReZero. Make sure to subscribe for the season 3 part 2 video, and thank y'all for watching, everybody. Take care, y'all.